Well, we had the big UN General Assembly meeting the other week, and I want to talk about this great piece you wrote in the New York Post about the fecklessness of the UN, particularly with the Iranian president being photographed with UN Chief Antonio Guterres. Now, the president called out so many of the faults of the United Nations, but, you know, this seems to be really where we see the full corruption of what this organization is about.
Yeah, James, I have to say, the response to President Trump's speech, among the elites was shocked that he would actually criticize the United Nations. He asked what the purpose of
God
it was.
forbid,
and
I know.
It doesn't seem to be doing much good, right?
Yeah.
And thank you so much for your kind words on my piece. When I met, during the United Nations General Assembly, I met with a lot of contacts and friends who are of Iranian background. They fled the country. They were, quite upset that this man is standing on the UN stage claiming to be a representative of the people and simply lying. And, again, proving the fecklessness of the UN. He was given a platform, as I called it in the article, kind of a hangman's platform to lie. And just the day before his speech, a non-governmental organization released the news that there have been at least 1,000 executions in Iran so far this year. That's a 30-year high. But the New York Times still called this president a moderate in describing his speech, in which he lied and claimed that Iran has never tried to get a nuclear weapon, and that Iran wants to end bloodshed in its region and around the world, which is certainly a news to the 1,000 people that he's killed already this year.
Yeah, it is just shocking, and the moral bankruptcy of the UN. I mean, good on Donald Trump again for delivering that absolute haymaker of a speech. Hey, finally, just before I let you go, I want to just finish on some great bit of, journalistic karma about somebody called Cheyenne Daniels. And in 2020, she was studying journalism at Northwestern University, talking about Donald Trump when he came to power and when he lost power, about the threat to her life as a black woman and the purity of white power that Donald Trump represents. Well, I want to bring this up because Cheyenne Daniels is now a reporter for Politico. How does Politico wind up hiring somebody, supposedly at a neutral publication, who is talking about all sorts of stuff and being tearful when Donald Trump won and all of that? How are we supposed to take this stuff seriously?
Great question, James. And she's been reporting on Donald Trump. It's not like she's just working there on some other beat. She is definitely on the White House beat. And you kind of wonder about their judgment. And, I hired a dozen reporters last year when I was overseeing our swing state election coverage at the Post.
I remember.
And I looked at social media. Of people that I was hiring because I wanted people with good judgment for such an important job. And did Politico do any vetting of this person? And it is kind of hilarious that, she cried when Donald Trump won in 2016, but in 2020 she was crying too, but this time tears of joy at Biden winning. It's just, this person is not going to be treating Donald Trump or his administration fairly. And, honestly, just reading her comments, it's like a parody of the, liberal reporter crying liberal tears that, collecting in a coffee cup just made for conservatives. So it's pretty crazy, and it's amazing. But, Politico, has had reporters who had, who were having affairs with people, in the previous administration, and, all kinds of stuff. So you really do have to wonder. There's certainly no dearth of people in this country who can write at least the Politico standards.
Well, which are not all that high, let's be honest about it. And you know what? I think if you're crying about elections one way or the other, maybe you've got other problems. Kelly Jane Torrance, thank you so much for joining me. Everybody read her stuff at the New York Post. Now, stick around. I've got one here, though, before we go to a break. One for all the cat people out there. Whatever you think of those Hakeem memes we talked about earlier, well, the Democrats have tried to go down their own social media path. Have a look at this video they've put out about the government shutdown, which has been described by some people as the cringiest thing to hit politics since the Kamala Harris campaign. Have a look.
Republican and Democrat kiddies cannot agree on what should be funded. Democrat kiddies want you to have health care. Republican kiddies do not. Republican kiddies control the Senate, House, and the White House, so they're using that to cut your health care and give money to billionaires. Democrat kitty tries to negotiate, but Republican kitty keeps running away. He has a vacation to get to. Uh-oh, suddenly the money you pay for your health insurance has tripled. Thanks, Republicans.
Yeah, that was pretty bad. It may be catnip for the Democratic base, but I don't think it scratches the surface of the problem.